Hey guys, how are we doing? And welcome to Automation, where we will be starting our very own car company. Now, this company, which I've called Avanti, will be an Italian car company, but fictionally will be based in Friwinia, as honestly it looks like quite a fun place to start out in. Now, the company itself will take inspiration from other companies such as Fiat, Alfa Romeo, maybe even a bit of Lancia. So yeah, no, the settings I've decided to go with are nothing too crazy, enough to give us a good start, but hopefully to challenge us as well. So without further ado, let's get into the campaign, I say. Okay, so here we are, and I think I'm gonna go with a family demograph because I feel like it will be the best place to start out for the company. Now, in terms of the actual body, I do really like these almost Fiat 500, Fiat 600 style bodies. Now the 2.2 meter version does have the van body on it, so I feel like I should go with that. Steal everything but monocoque. That's interested me. I don't remember a monocoque being this available this early in the game. Oh, it does have a very high engineering time though, so yeah, let's have a look what the front engine variant is like. So there you go, we can have a ladder chassis on this variant. Solid axle coil and solid axle leaves. And in terms of engineering time, this is much better. So I feel like this would be a good place to start out. Just to build a cheap little car, cheap little family car. Now to build the engine, I feel like I should go with a 3-cylinder. I was contemplating on doing the 4-cylinder boxer engine, but this is just cheaper to produce. Lighter, I mean hopefully it'll be better. Yeah, so we'll do about 1.1 litre. There you go, perfect. So cast iron everything, bring the compression down to about 7.0, cam profile of 32. Single barrel eco, because we want this engine to be economical. Friwinia likes its economical cars, so we'll make an economical car for them. Bring down the rev limit to 4,400, short cast headers, no muffler and baffled. And this is already a really good start. Nothing's screaming at us. And we will bring the exhaust down a little bit. Oh, look at this. Fuel efficiency of 15.7%. I mean, for the time, that must have been incredible. So, let's see if I can put another bit of compression into it. Yeah, look at that. And see if I can just squeeze a tiny bit more. There you go. Look at that. I can squeeze a bit more fuel efficiency out of the engine. And I mean, power-wise, it's nothing spectacular, but 27 kilowatts of power is about, I would say, 35 horsepower, which is enough to get the car going. Now, let's actually listen to the engine, see how depressing it sounds. I reckon it'll be very bad. Lovely. That's not a very nice sound at all, but I feel like people won't mind if the car is actually if the car doesn't cost them a lot of money to run. So let's go with the I mean, it's a hatchback, isn't it? So it's still a 4-door. So let's go with the 4-door variant, because a car of this length, I mean, it would only make sense to make it a 4-door. So rear wheel drive, manual gears, 3 gears. Let's bring the top speed a tiny bit over the estimated top speed. It'll get us a bit more efficient. Yeah, so top speed, what do you call it, spacing, about 45 I reckon to start out with. Cross ply is the only type of tyre that we have, and in terms of tyre width, can we not go over 95? No. I mean, this is the only way, isn't it? So There you go, we can now do 105s. I mean, that's nothing, that's 10.5 centimeters in width. So, let's bring the tires out a little bit. I mean, that should be fine, right? Yep, so, brakes, let's not mess with the brakes just yet. No under tray. Just a rear plank as for a seat in the back and 2 actual seats in the front. Basic interior, standard safety, nothing special, and normal suspension preset. There you go. First of all, the family demograph is very happy with it. Second of all, fuel economy of 7.4 liters for 100 per 100 kilometers. That is incredible. So let's see if we can do something with the suspension. Now, how they do like that. So let's make a dampness a bit stiffer. Let's make the actual springs a bit stiffer. Which ones are complaining? The rear. So, I mean, this is sort of where we want it to be. We want the blue line just to be a tiny bit behind the red line. So, I reckon that'll be fine. Now, let's have a look at the brake. Oh, the brakes are very good. So, let's see if I can make it a bit more comfortable in terms of the pad type. Bring up the actual size in the front. See if I can just about squeeze a tiny bit more brake performance. There you go. How does the rear look? I mean, they do prefer the larger brake size in the back, so we will do a bit more brake size in the back. Now, wheel spin. I mean, they do like it. They do like it with this huge first gear, but I don't know how it'll be to actually drive it. So, I mean, we'll have to see. But I think this is a good base to start out from. So, I'll just fiddle with a few sliders here and there, see if I can get the score a bit higher, get the car to be a bit nicer, and yeah, I will also design the car, and yeah, I'll get back to you once I've done that. Okay, so here we are designing the very first car for our company. Now, the way I went about designing this car was to give it a really rounded shape, a really organic shape, that works with the lines of the car itself. And honestly, I feel like it turned out really nice the way that the grille turned out. I mean, I could have probably changed it a little bit to make it fit a little better, but all in all, I think it fits really nicely just the way it is. Yeah, so a couple things about me. I currently live in Germany. Lived here for a couple years now, which explains some things when it comes to me speaking. I don't speak much English anymore. I used to speak it fluently. I still do, but it's just weird sometimes speaking English. Now it's different. Yeah, so I am 19 years old. I study automotive mechatronics, and honestly, I just started this whole YouTube thing because I just wanted to have something to do, something to dedicate my time to. Now, I've dedicated a lot of time to this game, so I thought, what better game to really put my time into to show you guys, to share with you guys, in fact, my passion for this game and what can be done with it. Now, I am really excited for the whole YouTube thing. It's a big thing for me. It's going to be a big start. I will try and upload at least once a week, but because of my apprenticeship, it could take a while because I do dedicate a lot of time to my apprenticeship because I want to get that done to the best grade possible. Now, one thing about this car, I have called it the Genti, whatever you want to call it. I don't speak Italian. You would think that if I speak 2 languages, I'd be able to learn others quite easily, but I mean, maybe one day. But yeah, it's called the Gente because apparently Genti or Gente means people, and this car is for the people. Now, when I was designing this, I thought, okay, I'll give it a two-tone design. I'll do something really nice with a white or a secondary color. Little did I know how much time it would take to put these masks on there, because I mean they're good. I really enjoy using them, but the way that the game's made, you can't really put them around the wheel arches. You have to put them over the top of the wheel arches, and yeah, that just takes time. Oh, and the game crashed there for me. The game crashed at that point, so I had to restart the game, redo everything. This was a little feature I liked, was with the wing mirror. I found that quite cool, how I made a little poster on it. And yeah, well, I'm finishing up the design now, but it was really nice just chatting to you guys. Yeah, so I'll speak to you once we get back to the car. Okay, and here it is, and honestly, love the design. The grille, I could have probably done a tiny bit of tweaking on it, but I feel like the shape works just fine. I do absolutely love this two-tone though. This two-tone works so well with the car. It just fits it really nicely. In terms of how good it is though, look at this! So family demograph loves this car. City demograph, all of them love this car. Passenger fleet, they also love this car. And honestly, having these markets open as big as they are for this car, I feel like it'll mean that the car sells that the car sells a lot. So I have done a teeny tiny bit of tweaking here and there, just to make the car just a tiny bit better, just to try and perfect the little things about it. And yeah, this is brilliant. So what I am going to do though is I am going to create really quickly a smaller engine for this car, so a 900cc engine for it. So yeah, I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, so here we are. We've created the second engine, the smaller engine. I mean, it was nothing special, it was just a tiny bit of tweaking around, and yeah, just making the engine smaller. Ended up reducing the bore all the way down, so it still had the stroke to try and get just that bit of torque out of the engine. So now that we've got the second variant, just make sure it all works. I mean, we're not going to change any of this, we want the same gearbox as the big one, as the big engine. So just gotta quickly name this engine the A110A, because it's a 1100cc engine. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way this car turned out. So just gonna change the lettering on this car, and then we're ready to sell the car. There you go. Now we have the 900. Or the, well, it is a 9, but this is just for the 900cc of the engine. And awesome, so let's go get this car ready for sale. So they're both about the same in terms of interest for the car. And I mean, do I go for a bigger factory? That's the question. I mean, I feel like I'm going to stick with the small one for now, just to get the company started, and then with the facelift we'll build onto the factory. So tooling quality, we want a little bit more tooling quality, and automation. I mean, we want to automate this as much as possible to try and keep the production cost per car as far down as possible. QA threshold, we'll start with about 38.5%, just nothing too ridiculous, and we'll increase the workers' wages because, well, we love them. Now, so yeah, now we've got to do the factory for the engine, then we get to decide on how we actually want to market this car, how we want to sell it. So we want to try and increase reliability as much as possible. I'm thinking like 80 reliability. Because, I mean, the car's already coming out in almost 1.5 years. It's no time at all for a car at all. So, optimize the process a tiny bit. I don't know whether... Oh, they do like it. So, a bit more manual work on the car. Because tooling, in terms of tooling, we want to do it a bit more manually. So, now the engine. Let's create the factory for the engine. We want to make sure it meets a production... The amount of... Oh, we really need to go for the big, small factory. So... I can't remember how many we need to create, but it was a lot, so... I'm going to increase tooling quality by 20 and automation by 10. QA threshold, I mean, 38.5 works again, and I reckon 1500 engines, or 3000 engines in total would be fine. And we can always have a look afterwards. We want the engine to be reliable as well, and optimize the process a little bit, a tiny bit more manual tooling. I mean, we want our people to learn from this engine, and I think if we just do about 18 months of total engineering time, that'll be fine. In terms of how much the engine costs to build, it's actually really cheap. So how can I see this? So our factory costs are nearly nothing after a couple of years, so that's perfect. So yeah. Oh, look at that. Okay, this is a good sign that we're already making a profit after, even though we have no expected awareness, like, at all. So the big 11, so the Gente 11, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's called the Gente, or Genti, I don't speak Italian. Yeah. So there you go. About 170 million profits after 10 years, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to market this car a bit so people will be interested in the car. So people will know about the car. Right now, nobody knows about this company. So there you go. So $5,200 in-game dollars for the big engine variant, and 5,000 for the small engine variant. I feel like that is fine. The engine factory is, I mean, working fine. And yeah, let's put this car up for sale. Total, we don't need a loan for this. It's perfect. So deactivate loan, and there you go. Now let's. Oh, before we do that, we're going to market the car. So marketing. So we've only got Helvetia and Fruinia. So I feel like we should market the car for capacity. That's very expensive, but I feel like we should... I mean, economy is over here, isn't it? Yeah, fuel efficiency is over here, so... Smoothness, we can't do smoothness. Weight, the car's very light, so... or do we want to... I mean, braking is a very strong point in this car, so we'll go with braking. So... I mean, agility, not really. Cargo volume. I reckon cargo volume would interest the people. Drivability, practicality. Oh, it's quite expensive, so it's a very drivable car. Safety, sort of safe, but the car's very reliable, so we'll sell it as a reliable car. Same thing over here. Oh, no, not cornering. Cargo volume, capacity. Was that what I chose? Cargo volume, capacity, and braking. There you go. It's all very expensive, but there you go. So a bit of drivability, a bit of practicality. There you go. It's, I mean, what, 260,000 for marketing in 2 countries? That I feel like is fine. We'll focus on reputation and prestige later on. Once we're making a reliable income, because it's quite expensive. So I mean, we are making red right now, but it's not much at all compared to the 250 million we started out with. So we will drop to about 100 million once these factories are done, but hopefully we'll be making plus once the car's sold. So There you go, we're making lots of, well, we're losing a lot of money, and now we should be making green. Yes! There you go, look. So, there you go, we're making green on our very first car, so we're making money on our very first car, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, no, I'm very happy. It's a very good start for the company, and, I mean, it's a lovely car, isn't it? It's a really cute little car. But yeah, no, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I mean, great start to the company. I'm first video on the channel, and honestly, just super happy. Happy to be here. Happy to have made this car for you guys. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.